So then the next page talks about hardcore traditional and non-traditional marketing, although some of it is becoming quite traditional now. As I said before, one-size messaging does not fit all. You each have very specific and unique groups that you're working with. You need to customize your messaging, how you communicate, when you communicate, what you're communicating with to each one. Only you know best how to reach those people because you're in touch with them regularly. So we talked before about newsletter or e-newsletter. You can do it monthly, you could do it quarterly. Again, it's based on what you have time to do. You can allocate this chore to an intern or to a volunteer that is interested in journalism or communications or public relations, you know, any number of things from local schools. Social media, Facebook, Twitter, LinkedIn, Pinterest is the newest one. We'll get into a greater description of each of those in a minute. Videos are also compelling. They can be very, very powerful. It's free. You can actually shoot a video from your smartphone, upload it to YouTube. You can create a channel on YouTube. It's amazing, and it gives people a chance to see what you're doing. But again, you have to be conscientious about consent. But if you want to just do like a virtual tour about the new classroom or the new parish hall or the new church, whatever it is. I mean, there's so many ways you can communicate with video. It doesn't have to be long. In fact, you don't want it to be long. You want it to be about 30 to 60 seconds because, again, attention spans are very short fused, especially online, as Cheryl mentioned before. If you don't have a website, I suggest that you get one. It doesn't have to be crazy sophisticated. There are several different places you can go. Fees are minimal for hosting, like $10 a month. I actually know of a for-profit business that designs and manages websites for nonprofits for free. So if you're interested in updating your website or getting a website, contact me. My contact information is at the bottom of every one of these pages, and I will put you in touch with him. Blogs are a great way to communicate your opinion about something or your position on something. It doesn't have to be long. It can be 2 paragraphs or a paragraph. It doesn't have to be daily or weekly. It can be once a month that you can write a blog. It's a little bit less complicated than a newsletter. There are a couple different blog sites out there. I happen to write a blog, and it's on wordpress.org, which is very user-friendly. Direct mail is still a very powerful tool when sending information out to your constituents, whether they're current, they're prospective. It doesn't matter whether you're doing a quarterly letter or biannually or annually. Actually, the interesting thing about direct mail is that December is the strongest month of the year for fundraising. People want to unload their money at the end of the year. So what I recommend is if you're not doing a direct mail piece or you are sending out a solicitation letter, make sure you're doing it in December. And actually, December 31st is the best day of the entire month to do your piece. So what you would do is send out your direct mail piece via the mail, your hard copy letter, your wonderful story with your beautiful photo that evokes tears, and then follow up with an email on December 31st, because then people can go, oh, click to donate, and they can make that last minute year-end tax donation.
And just in kind of the church speak, we do it at some of the churches I work with, and we do a Christmas offering and an Easter offering letter appeal. Let's make a special Christmas offering, a special Easter offering, and they've always done it to church, but it's a way if you wanted to designate a special fund. And the gifts have ranged, again, depending. One very small church received, they did it this year, they got $800, which is more for them, it was huge.
Right.
We did $4,000 at Christmas at All Souls. Another church has done $12,000. So it's, I think, pick up on those, that Christmas appeal and an Easter appeal.
Yeah, somewhere like 6 months apart, so that's
Yes.
a good timing, because you don't want to hit them. Like I remember I donated to City of Hope, which is a cancer organization in Los Angeles, and I sent money because my aunt passed away from lung cancer, and so I sent money in lieu of a gift or whatever at the service. And every month I got a letter from them, and I was like, come on already, enough, like the money that you're spending to send me this 4-color beautiful paper, double-sided letter is driving me crazy. Like, how much are you spending on just this? Like, if I'm going to donate, I'm going to donate. I know where to find you. And it just actually, it bothered me to the point where I don't want to be a part of it anymore, you know? So be conscientious of that. You don't want to ask too often. Events are huge. They are the necessary evil in most of our nonprofit life. They can be cumbersome, overwhelming, stressful, exhausting, all of the negative words that you could possibly imagine. I have done them time and time and time again for profit and nonprofit, and it's never, ever fun. But they do raise money. So if you haven't done events or you do events now, hats off to you. Look at ways to collaborate. You know, change a venue, new theme, whatever that is. If your current event is getting kind of old and needs to be refreshed, look at that. There are event planners out there that can help you with that. There are other people in the community, like the Spirit of Giving Network is great because they're very event driven. There are 60 organizations that are members of the Spirit of Giving Network, and they're all in Palm Beach County, most of them in the Boca area and just North Broward County. Anyway, they're event crazy, but there is a lot to learn, and if you ever wanted to attend or speak with somebody who does events different from what you're doing, there are plenty of people that would love to help you. So again, it's just about asking for help and learning what other people are doing. And I always, when I go to events or I see events, I always look to see who the sponsors are. Because if it's a similar organization, again, like-minded, if they're sending 15,000 or 20,000 to that event, maybe they'd send 500 or 1,000 to my event. We're much smaller, but you know, we're in the same community. Maybe they'd want to participate. Big companies usually have an allocated budget for philanthropic dispersal. Constant Contact, as Bonnie talked about, there's another one called Vertical Response. They're very easy email message systems. They basically double as your online newsletter. The trick is that you have to have your database online as far as a spreadsheet with all of your constituents' emails that you would then upload into Constant Contact or Vertical Response. And then as Bonnie said, you can customize. If you just wanted to go to your vestry, you just wanted to go to your volunteers, you wanted to go to everybody, you can create certain lists within so that maybe you have a specific message about something that only applies to 10 people or applies to everybody, so you can customize as you go. Personal emails are also great. I always encourage programs, ministries to get as many of your key stakeholders involved. So maybe it's same thing with your handwritten thank you letters and phone calls. Get your vestry involved, your rector, pick up the phone and call or write a thank you note on behalf of the program or on behalf of the ministry. It means something other than just, you know, George who is running the after-school care program, whatever. If it's from somebody who's higher up in the church, that means something that goes a little bit further sometimes. Press, if you are PR friendly or savvy, great. It's a great way to gain awareness. If you're not, we'll talk through that in a second. Promotional kit, this is kind of a luxury, but if you're trying to promote what your program does, it doesn't hurt to have something. You can do something as easy as what you have here. You can buy these at Office Depot. You can buy these labels and you just go on and drop in your logo, the name of the program or whatever, and you stick it on. It's called a crack and peel. You can put a business card here, and then you can have pictures of what the program looks like or people that you serve with the who, what, when, where kind of contact information sheet, you know, description, whatever it is, information that you have that you want to share. And this is good for when you're partnering with businesses or you're going after corporate dollars or looking for sponsors for events. Well, who are you? Oh, this is great. I have this for you to leave behind. It could be a trifold brochure. Again, these cost dollars. Not necessarily on everybody's list right now, but it could be on a wish list. So maybe you get grant money at some point and it says this grant is for marketing and PR purposes. Fantastic. Let's get a promotional kit done. Let's get a press release written. You know, any of those things can be done. And then your wish list. Very, very important to have a wish list. People always want to know, what do you need? Well, you know, we need extra space in the back because we need to serve, you know, an additional 50 kids or 50 people. Okay, well, that's a really big task. And I don't know how I'm personally going to help you get that other than writing you a check. Do you need anything else? Do you need toilet paper? Can I get you some office supplies? Do you need, you know, hand sanitizer? I mean, always have a wish list that encompasses very small things that are very affordable and easy to pick up at any store when people are shopping to, we need a wheelbarrow, we need a golf cart, we need chalkboards, we need 8 computers for our computer lab. so that people can go online to your website and see exactly what you need, and then they can send it, they can call you and go, I'm going to drop it off, whatever. So you always want to have your wish list handy. It's like your transparency thing. Always be able to tell people, what do you need? Because oftentimes people don't want to hear all the mumbo jumbo about what you're trying to achieve. They just want to know very simply, very quickly, how can I help? What do you need? I need $100 because I have to pay a guy that's taking our kids from point A to point B on Friday. Okay, let me write you a check for that. We are almost out of ink and toner for our printer, and I'm about to send out a mailing, and then we do all of our printing in-house. I need $60, or I need the printer and the toner, whatever, from Office Depot. Okay, here's an Office Depot gift card. So there's a lot of ways people can help. If you make it affordable and easy for them to achieve, they're going to jump right in and do it.
That little folder is a great way to utilize the wish list too.
It is.
Stick a new one in every time
Yep.
you've got.
You want to have your wish list always available, because again, if you're soliciting somebody for a sponsorship for an event, they might go, you know what, we can't do that. And also, when you're talking to companies coming in to do a day of service, they may go, well, we want to make a cash donation. You know what, that's great. You can do that, but what we'd really like is if you would bring us these specific supplies. Here's a list of things we need now to keep our day-to-day housekeeping going. And they'll usually come with boxes or bags, you know, of toilet paper and hand sanitizer and pens and printing paper and whatever it is that you need, because they saw it on the wish list. And in addition to that, they're all going to give you a check or cash. So it's a win-win for everybody.